That's pretty good.
There we go.
All right, no, reread it all. Tell me this is fun.
Yes.
And he's at a meeting, so he can't. I was gonna say, if somebody else logs in, let me know or text us if you can hear us. The other thing that needs to be known is that as I am in the seat as presiding officer today, I have to give up my legislative duties. What that means is that I can't vote today. So the council will be working with a 5-person quorum. And I only vote in the event of a tie if need be. And I am gonna take a roll call vote. Just to make sure that you guys are aware and you understand that you have a 5-person quorum today. Mr. Warner.
Here.
Mr. Ackerman.
Here.
Mrs. Rupp.
Here.
Mrs. Vidal.
Here.
Ms. Kukowski. Yes. Yes. Okay. And then I know you did the here as in here, but now we're gonna do that roll call that says you are here.
Oh, sorry.
That was a yes, you understand. So
Okay.
this is you are here for the meeting and we have a quorum. Mr. Warner.
I want to answer yes, but here.
Travis Ackerman.
Yes.
Erica Rupp. Ashley Patel.
Here.
Brittany Kukowski.
Here.
Okay, so that covers our roll call and the documented action. As we go forward, did everybody have a chance to look at the agenda? Are there any corrections, changes, or additions?
I want to add the knock boxes
Okay,
to new business.
okay,
What is it called? Knock boxes. No, or, no, knock.
Knock.
Yeah, so KONX boxes.
Knox.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. And then I also am going to add to miscellaneous business, TMACOG topics to be discussed and appointed to committees. Anybody else? Can I get, do we motion to approve the agenda?
We have not yet, but I will. So
Craig, so moved. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Hi.
All right, and then did you have a chance to look at the minutes? And are there any corrections, additions, or changes that need to be made? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
so moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay, there is no old business as far as reports go. The mayor, like I said, 2 weeks ago before the meeting, the council meeting, when most of us were here, Rick asked me to fill in for him today because with the President Day holiday, it moved our meeting to Tuesday and he has another meeting to be at. He is listening online. He may, I don't know if he'll be able to comment later on or not. But when we attend online, we can only comment, we cannot interact. So, also, I can't report on, I don't have a report from him on what he's done, but I can tell you that Brittany and I attended TMACOG, the winter summit, and it was very informative. The council members, you have 2 papers that you're probably not accustomed to seeing. That is something that we received while we were there and I found very helpful. It's the House bills. And they are things that we're already working on. So for administrative process, they already have the topic of our cybersecurity, House Bill 96. That is more details on what we'll need to do. And there is also information on data centers that I think will be useful to the committees going forward. So things we're already handling, but I thought that would be helpful for you. But for the community also, these are issues you're going to be hearing a lot about because it's going to affect us financially and economically. And then just local things that are going on, baseball registration for the Weston Sports Initiative is still open. You can contact them on Facebook. Then also Sunlight is about to open gyms. The digital newsletter has all kinds of stuff. I suggest you guys sign up for it if you don't already have it. And then we've got the fiscal officer report. Which is here. So I will read it. We have several 2025 purchase orders that will require formal council approval to be carried forward into 2026 so that payments may be applied. Typically, purchase orders are carried over solely to allow payment of outstanding invoices from the prior year that have not yet been received. In this case, some of the purchase orders will involve new invoices being applied to a 2025 purchase order, which is why council approval is required. Additionally, a few of these purchase orders are still awaiting invoices, and she wants to make council aware of the ongoing issue of untimely invoicing. If delayed invoicing continues to be an issue, we should consider evaluating alternative vendors. And then she asked that we please formally approve the following PO carryovers. There is a Deschler Municipal Utilities carryover for $625. And they did work on the bus garage demo for us and the ball field lights. There's a Kendall Plumbing and Heating for $500. They replaced our thermostat for us when it stopped working. There is an OHM Advisors for $11,989. It's for, we have not yet billed for the pre-construction engineering work. They're helping us with our OPWC. Rose Tree Service, $500. She makes note that they tend to bill late. And this,
Send that in.
it says that,
He was supposed to drop that off, but if he hasn't, I will make sure that he
she
gets.
says she was told the remaining invoice will be for the Christmas tree lighting. The PO was carried over so we can pay for services that were completed in 2025. I would say it looks as though he has not.
I'll get a hold of him and get that over here so that way she can get it paid.
State of Ohio, $2,000. This PO is for the SIB loan closing costs. And then an SIB loan is for the OPWC grant, or not grant, OPWC. And then there's a blanket PO for $500 for cemetery trust items like winter Christmas pots and grave blankets. These are the expenses that she would like to have council approve for carryover. Can I get a motion to do so?
So moved.
Second.
And I'll do a roll call. Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Mr. Ackerman,
Yes.
Ms. Rupp,
Yes.
Mrs. Bedell,
Yes.
Ms. Kukowski.
Yes.
And then she goes on with one more item in her report, the state capital budget. She received an email from Haraz Gambari about state capital budget funds that were allocated to us years ago. We had previously declined the $60,000, but it was never formally released. So it is still available and could be redirected to another project. She let the aide know that we would be informed so council can make a decision either to select a project from the list, which is in the council meeting folder, or to officially release the funds if we do not plan to use them. The deadline to decide is March 12th, 2026. She's still waiting to confirm whether this would require matching funds from us, But her understanding from before is that we have up to 60,000 to use on an eligible project. And a match would only be needed if the project cost exceeds that amount. And did you guys have a chance to look at that list? Rick did talk to me about this topic a little bit yesterday. And it would be best if we use it for things we already have projects going for. Like, it can't be used for pavement or anything like that, but for instance, our RD,
BG.
Oh, the grant
yes,
parking lot.
the library grants. We have to scale that down, and when we scale it down, we're losing a lot of the natural elements. So the trees that were gonna provide the sound barrier and the bioswale that was gonna do some extra drainage over there to prevent flooding. This grant covers watershed and flood control. And then it also could be put towards, they say, emergency response infrastructure that could go through our cybersecurity stuff we have to do. There were some villages at Temacog that were talking about their cybersecurity costing 30-40 grand. So I think we have to make a decision by March 12th, but I think it should go to committee. What do you guys think?
When does community development meet this month?
The meetings, I think Public Works is the next meeting, then council. And then the decision has to be made.
It would be safety,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
development.
mean, it doesn't fit really on public works. It fits in community development. But we could, I mean,
The library project is,
if we're deciding on a project, what are we moving to committee? What we're gonna use it for, or what are we gonna make that decision and then assign it to a committee?
you're gonna recommend, we're moving it, unless you wanna discuss it and make a decision what we're recommending now.
Well, so I guess if we are gonna do that, I guess my decision would be is to. I don't know, I can't make that decision.
So the other thing that I highlighted a lot of things. Something else, one of our other huge projects we're looking for grant funding, as you guys know, is Washington Street. We have we have two prong there. We have drainage issues and then we have pavement. We can't use it for pavement, but we have Delta Institute working with us on gray infrastructure. I'd like to hear what they can cover and make sure that they can cover the cost of that. If not, this watershed flood control also covers gray infrastructure. So it could go toward Washington Street. It could go toward the library. It could go toward our cybersecurity. Or then there are lots of other little projects, parks, cemetery, historical, natural.
Cybersecurity though is the only one of those projects that is mandatory, correct?
Yeah, I like that idea.
And so therefore, as much as I would love to use it for like, out there, it seems to me that we need to know what that cybersecurity is going to cost.
Mhm.
For that.
And we have a timeline for that, correct? We have to be done by July-ish.
The resolution has to be done by July. And there are lots of things with that. I was going to suggest that the disaster planning part of that go to safety. That's in our miscellaneous business, but that's a multi-committee situation. The ordinance resolution part, Paul Scaff is working with us and it's currently in administrative process to be worked through with him. But the safety part, the disaster planning, I think would be good for safety. If you guys, are you making a motion to use it?
So I guess I'm going to make a motion to use it for cybersecurity.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Any opposed?
So now can we make a motion to move that to the appropriate committee?
Yeah.
So should it go to, it's gotta go to administrative process of that. So I motion to move it to administrative process.
When's the date of our?
It'll be after the March 12th.
We just send in a blanket PO, like that we decided to use the money for this program.
So what we can do, there's another council meeting before March 12th. We can ask Stephanie to get that match information to us very specifically. Do we have a match or not? Will our cybersecurity
Wait a minute.
go for that?
We would meet on the 3rd, right? No, we'd meet on the 2nd. Council would meet on the 2nd. Administrative process would meet on the 9th.
Oh, yeah, yep. This is true. Yeah. No, I'm looking at February.
They're the same dates.
Yep. Okay,
So we can,
administrative process.
so I move it to administrative process.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Beautiful. All right. That concludes the fiscal officer's report, and now we will hear from the administrator.
Just, I got the stuff ordered for the truck and I'm just waiting on that. I should be there on the 19th. The new instrument cluster. So once I get that, I can get that fixed.
Okay.
That's about it.
Anything else for Harold? Okay. We don't have a report from Ken for zoning today.
It was just not in the folder.
What do you mean?
It wasn't here when I left.
It says 17th February 2026. It's just not in the folder. Go out to the main folder for council meetings and he's just been putting them in there. It's just they haven't been being moved to the appropriate folder that they represent.
Oh, I see.
February 2026, February 17th. Okay, so on the 3rd, he sent an email to myself and Craig outlining discussion points for updates to the snow removal ordinance. February 4th, he received a call from the owner of the apartments on Brook Lane questioning the possibility of storage sheds on the property. February 5th, he emailed Paul regarding the Brook Lane request and the possible need for a variance. February 16th, he called the owner of Brook Lane Apartments. He is looking into building storage units for his tenants at the east end of the apartments on the same property. Ken gave him the setback information and they talked about the possibility of a variance. And that is his report. And
Isn't
then
that the side that floods?
the east side, no, that's one street over.
Mm.
Mhm.
Well, I
And
mean, it's his decision whether he wants to put them there. He would know if they flood or not.
yeah, so if you go one street over on the east side of that, it floods really bad. And then on the, right now, east side,
It's towards the woods, isn't it?
if it's on the back, property, it would be then.
Yeah.
But he does not have the very back. Because that belongs to the people that wanted to sell
Right.
to developers. So, and they're landlocked, so they did not sell. So that's, it's not on, and that's the part that floods. All right, moving on to committee reports. We've got administrative process.
In attendance were myself, Erica Rube, Mayor, Stephanie Mons, Crystal Smith, Howard Lashway, Rob Meyerholtz, Brittany Klakowski, and Logan and Sam Wick. The committee discussed the proposed repairs on the red truck. There were 2 quotes, one from Thayer Chevrolet and Advanced Auto Parts. The committee decided to let Harold proceed with completing the repairs. He's able to perform independently. There was also discussion on an ongoing oil leak, which has reportedly been an issue for some time. The staff should ensure the vehicle's oil level is checked and maintained prior to operation. the OPWC funding pavement project. There were some changes made to the scope of work from a late January meeting. These changes include the addition of ADA compliant sidewalk ramps, also the removal of the intersection paving at Main and Cherry. That was part of a paving project we did on the residential part of Main Street a few years ago. Advertising for bids will begin on February 16th. So they will continue the week of February 23rd. Opening bid. The bid opening is scheduled for March 3rd with the award letter anticipated on March 10th, and council will approve on March 17th. Fiscal officer reported that the year-end financials have been completed. The final revenue figures are expected by March. The committee briefly discussed the township's request for electrical assistance at the safety building. The committee agreed that the existing levy already covers this expense and that the village should not be required to pay twice for utilities. We also discussed ordinance 174.05 on snow removal. Like Ken reported in his thing that Ken had sent a letter to me and Jessica, and Section A mandates that all snow and ice be removed from sidewalk within 24 hours following the event of 2 or more inches of snow. There is a part in there that Ken indicated that Jessica stated that Section B of that should have been removed or reworded during the past. And I don't have that on me what that was for.
The removal and it was the newsletter being mailed out. We no longer
Okay.
mail the newsletter, but we have paper copies here if people want to pick it up.
Ken also noted that in Section C also requires a revision as the second sentence references a $75 cost for adjacent property. He believes this is an error as it would result in the corner lot being charged less than the adjacent lot. When we were in our meeting, we seemed to kind of, didn't remember exactly what needed to be discussed. So I've put that as something to discuss at our next meeting. It was brought up about liaisons. I decided to table that topic because that was something brought up by you and you were not present at the meeting. So items for next meeting will be council liaisons. And also Jessica had proposed recent changes with a follow-up discussion on effectiveness, the cybersecurity policy, social awareness policy, and parking across sidewalks. And now we'll add into that the grant that we're talking about. Actionable items is to move the CDBG grant to Public Works. I will serve as the point person. That is for drainage. Drainage.
Okay.
Do you want me to go through all these? You want to vote on them as we go along?
We can vote on as you go. So we have a motion to move CDBG to Public Works. By Craig, do we have a second? Second. And all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
I had made changes to council rules and added a committee attendance policy. It is in council rules. It is that they no longer, I think council has it that you don't miss more than 8 meetings. So I have it down to you can't miss more than 4 committee meetings, and that's 4 in total. So if you're on 2 committees, you can't miss more than 4 total. And then as well. So we can accept those. I make a motion to accept those changes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
And then the other thing that we did discuss was the financing lease program through NCL for the new ambulance. And the committee decided that to go with the 7-year financing. So I make a motion to approve that as well.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we will be going with 7-year financing through NCL for the new ambulance. And council is aware that it's 4 committee meetings and 4 council meetings, or?
So the council meetings are separate than the committees. This
So
is
8
strictly for-
council, 4.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then anything more for administrative process? We'll be moving on to Parks and Rec, which I see Ron is online. Ron, I saw some notes in our system that were submitted. Is it okay if Travis reads those notes for us?
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right.
All right, these were the notes taken on the January 7th meeting, 2026. The meeting started with a pledge, and those who attended it were, if I get some of the names wrong, my apologies, but Howard Lashaway, Ron Dallas, Douglas Marion, Rob Meyerholtz, Brittany Klokowski, Mayor Rick Easterwood, and Samantha Wick. The board talked about having an interaction with the Weston Sports Initiative to discuss how we could help each other. Mr. Dallas made a motion to finalize design with Ridge Artworks of new park signs so that they all match. This was seconded by Mr. Lashaway and the motion passed. The board then discussed ADA compliance and discussed areas we have looked into to get ADA park equipment as well as funding. The board also discussed Homeland Security, the Homeland Security grant that we can look into to purchase security cameras for all the parks, as well if the village wanted to piggyback the system for their other properties. And then the board also approached Mr. Meyerholtz about his interest in joining the board so that we may utilize his familiarity with ADA compliance and help in finding funding to complete this. The meeting was motioned to close by Mr. Marion and was seconded by Mr. Lashaway, and the vote passed.
Okay. And then I would just say to add your own name in your attendance.
I didn't attend this meeting because
Oh, I thought you did.
this was the January one. I wasn't the liaison at that point.
All right. Perfect. Anything more on that?
Are we gonna get a report on the most recent meeting or we gotta wait till next month?
I believe it is all in process, but we have all been informed.
Of
Um,
the January meeting?
Council has been informed of the last meeting, and it is in
Not the public, but not the public.
That's debatable. Cemetery minutes.
Oh, that's me. Meeting from 2/12, the cemetery will permit the Sporl Monument unaltered in its existing place of installation. Sporl family will assume any and all such liability for the maintenance and upkeep of the monument and agree to keep it maintained and not permit it to deteriorate. They are working on updating rules and providing everybody with a copy of the rules when they purchase a plot. An update to the rules is being worked on. The mayor is working with Mr. Scaff on how the cemetery will receive legal counsel in the future. The cemetery board wished to keep a liaison and report a summary of each meeting to council. And they are working on getting quotes for signs at the entrances that will have park rules. And then they're also working on a policy for guests and meeting agendas. That's more of a policy that would be enforced if there was a large crowd here, so that it gives people a time limit.
Oh.
to how they can speak.
All right, anything more on that? We'll be moving on to community development.
Meeting date was 2/10/26 and attendance was Dean Babcock, Logan Wick, Samantha Wick, Brittany Klokowski, Ashley Patel, Travis Ackerman, Rick Easterwood, and Erica Roop. Previous meetings were approved. Mayor Rick Easterwood swore in 2 members to the Tree Commission. Logan Wick will sit for a 2-year term while Dean Babcock has a 1-year term. I have forwarded their information to Stephanie Foster Miller so that they can begin communicating with her. Brittany will be the council member to also sit on the commission. Reaching out to Shellen at the library for known families and some information to begin a family spotlight section in the next newsletter. Next meeting, we have discussed a lottery type of drawing for local businesses to be featured in the business spotlight, also to be included in the newsletter. And we are seeking pricing and information for replacing the roof on the gazebo in the Village Hall green space, intending to use the Suburban Natural Gas Company Development Fund of $1,454. Brittany mentioned possibly contacting Stormore on Willow and 235 for suggestion.
All right, any questions on that? Upcoming meetings, we have public safety on February 23rd at 6 p.m. Public Works on February 24th at 6 p.m. Under new business, Ashley, you wanted to talk about EMS box.
So I had a couple people reach out to me on Knox boxes. Bowling Green Fire is currently doing them for like their elderly, they're disabled. That way, when they get a call, they can just go in. I think it would be beneficial to take that to safety to see if we can get a grant for them, for our elderly and our disabled.
Okay. So you want a motion?
I motion to put knock boxes on safety so we can get a grant for them.
And second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain. I'm not sure. I don't understand what a knock box is.
I saw a post on Facebook. It's kind of like a key box.
Okay.
Like it goes over their doorknob.
Okay, yes.
All right, so Knox boxes will go to safety committee. Also under new business, Brittany would like to attend, and so would I, the Lake Erie West Region SEDS Summit on March 6th at, and it has a registration fee of $25. Do you want to explain SEDS? Or do you want me to? I have the email.
You have it up.
Yeah.
I don't remember the acronym off the top of my head.
It is, I wrote it down too. Give me 2 seconds. What it is it represents our region. It is 5 counties. There it is. I don't see, there it is. The Lake Erie West Region Comprehensive, so it's Comprehensive Economic Development District. And the S in SEDS is strategy. So what it is, it's 5 counties representing Lucas, Wood, Ottawa, Sandusky, and Seneca counties. And it is a summit to develop strategy to increase our economy in a positive direction. And I think it would benefit us, just like the Winter Caucus gave us all kinds of information about federal and state laws that are coming down. And it helps us understand the things we need to do here. I think it would be very beneficial. They talked about a lot of events they have coming up, but this was one of the ones I thought would be most beneficial for us. So I also would like to go to it. Can we get a motion to approve Brittany and I to go to SED?
So moved.
And a second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay,
Same.
abstain, yes. And I'm not voting. And then, did everybody have a chance to look over the bills? Any questions? And can I get a motion to approve our bills?
So moved.
Second? Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Miscellaneous business. So this is the TMACOG, that I was talking about, the things that came from TMACOG. The cybersecurity, I'd like to send to safety committee if someone would like, if you agree, go ahead and motion and second.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then Brittany sent us a email on JEDS, which is a Joint Economic Development District. They were talking about it in regards to data centers if they came our way. Basically what it is if something is, say, in the township, so it's not on our land, but it stresses our expenses. So we have an expense with it, but we don't get any of the income. You can create a JED, which is a Joint Economic District. The caveat being we have to have an expense, and then we can share in the income even though it's not our land. When they were talking about it, Brittany brought up that we may be able to use this for the solar field. So I thought it was a very good idea, and I would like to have that moved to committee.
But I already moved it to committee as the chairperson. We're allowed to put it,
You still, generally you still have to have it approved here, but I was thinking Public Works too. If you want a motion for that.
yeah, I'll motion.
Second,
Second.
I wanted Public Works to discuss if we should actually do it, because if we do it, I have a guy lined up who can speak to the committee or council on it and give us more information, but I just wanted to know if we were going to do it. So should I invite that guy then, or?
I think you should start the discussion, do the research. There's a lot I don't know about it, and I think we're all gonna have to, it's the first I've heard of it, but I think it's a great idea if it works for us.
Yeah.
So we have a first, and if we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then the last one is property tax implications. There's a good possibility that it is going to be put on the ballot to remove property taxes in the fall. And that has large spread implications for townships, counties, and what will definitely be us. And I would like to send that to administrative process to start to discuss how that's going to financially impact the village. And I believe already there, it's not on this agenda, but it was the, Brittany, which bill is it? House Bill
31.
Yes, that's already an administrative process, and this goes with that.
A motion to move it there.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And this brings us to citizens and visitors. We normally start on the right, so we'll start with Sarah. Is that what I heard? All right.
I don't have any.
Okay. Shirley? Okay. Sam?
I did. I wrote them down so I can stay. But I had to change it because it was for Rick, but now it's for, it works better for council, actually. I need someone on council to help to clarify the difference between a report and minutes. I believe that is where a lot of I think it's fake confusion, but confusion is amongst, I'm not gonna beat around the bush, but like the rec board and all of the issues that have followed. When they're discussing their hangups with the liaison reporting approved minutes, no one does that. Craig reported twice tonight. None of that was approved minutes. It was a summary, a report. So I want someone else to help define what a report is and what approved minutes are.
Okay.
And then also what a liaison does. Because the people hear it from me all the time.
Okay.
So I want you guys to do it.
I want to clarify a couple things. That until this meeting, the whole time that we've had a liaison for the cemetery for the last year, we were only allowed to use approved minutes because that is what the cemetery board requested.
Mhm.
And then just like his meeting minutes stated for the cemetery, they approved to allow him to give a summary.
Mhm.
So that is they have now approved him.
The cemetery voted on that? To only read approved minutes?
Yeah.
They seemed even at their last meeting that they were frustrated with that. Like, they didn't want that.
That is, I mean, I can understand the frustration, but there was also a lot going on with cemetery and there were reasons they did that. I was there because I was their liaison before.
Mhm.
And it was right at the switch, right at the first of the year last year. So Ashley took over, but I was still there because I had things going on with Memorial Day event.
Mhm.
And there I was, even though I wasn't their liaison, I had to go be there for the Memorial Day event. So I did hear those discussions.
Mhm.
And I did hear them discuss it and approve it between Jody, the board, and Ashley, that she would only read approved minutes. So the minutes that Jody wrote after the board approved them. And that's why we would get them a month later. So,
That doesn't answer either question.
so I'm clarifying that why you said he read 2 versions today. That just started back up.
I just meant that.
But the
that's how it's
difference
done.
between minutes and reporting.
Yeah.
So for instance, Weston Sports Initiative Board, it's another board. We have 3 of them. When I was their liaison, they have minutes that are very accurate. Just like she has minutes that are very accurate. And they have to approve them and the president and the treasurer sign them each meeting. My liaison minutes, which they wanted to keep a liaison and they allowed that process. My liaison report is a summary.
Right.
It's very general.
Mhm.
And it just keeps everyone updated. So that's the difference. The minutes are highly detailed and they are approved.
Right.
So everybody has read them and they're like, yes, that's what happens. That is accurate. That's an accurate depiction. Summary is just the
report.
report is the general
And then-
summary.
So you were the council liaison for the WSIB.
Mhm.
So who were you giving report to?
So with anytime I was liaison, another thing I did is when I wrote them, if I was worried about them not liking what I had to say, I would read it out loud to them to have that approved. And then I
Prior
would,
to leaving the meeting.
while I was in the meeting, and then if they didn't want it, they could tell me that. And when I came here, I would read it to the council
Council.
and the community. Yeah. So that's the difference. One is a summary, one is highly detailed and accurate and voted on and approved.
That's also my interpretation, but again, they hear it from me. I want the community to hear it from you. But with that, then here comes what I think is the heavy hitter. So now at the beginning, and I actually just read through the minutes, council minutes from last year. It was early February, maybe. When somehow, and it seems confusing when I'm reading it, somehow there was confusion on whether or not we should allow boards to have a liaison or not.
Mhm.
And initially it was a split, it seemed, and there was some council members that were like, no, we should keep liaisons, and there was others that were like, no, we don't need them. And then at the end of it, somehow unanimously, Craig wasn't there, but unanimously, you guys all voted to let them choose. Anyway, that was early on in the year. Towards the end of the year, there was only one board that chose to not have a liaison, right?
Mhm.
Now, jumping back in, I attended the Parks and Rec meeting, which was a nightmare.
Mhm.
Apparently council knows about it
Mhm.
and the public does, but when I was in attendance at the January 7th meeting, which I wasn't, I really only caught the last end of it. I caught a conversation. It was not during the meeting, but it was at the end of it. Doug Marion said, and that if council decides to bring back liaisons, they will just dissolve the effing board. That's what he said. Now my question to all of council, not just you, because according to early on in February, you were in favor of keeping liaisons. So
I still am.
I believe that that was a direct threat to council and a threat to transparency. So I want to know how council feels about that.
Well, dissolving the board, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they all could resign and we just find other volunteers.
I believe that's probably what he meant.
And we
And
all
all of
have,
them,
I mean, we had a disagreement a few years ago about keeping baseball part of the rec board and a bunch of people resigned because of it.
but I want to know, like, I want to,
So what I will say about this is that liaisons are an active topic. We are discussing, it is in committee, it will come to bear a response. We are currently working with Parks and Rec. I have asked them the favor, even though they didn't want a liaison, that they let Travis take notes and read notes, and he was there. He took notes. He got to read notes today. When, my
he didn't read
opinion,
notes. He read approved minutes.
yes,
It-
that's what I actually used to do for the
At a
summit.
meeting he wasn't even at.
It's not notes though.
Yeah, he wasn't even at that meeting.
It's a report.
It's
not a
approved
report,
minutes.
It's minutes. You just
He
explained the
wasn't even
difference.
there.
Okay, so what I'm about to say, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
What I'm about to say is that working with a community as a whole, you're gonna have people who are very different.
Mhm.
And it takes flexibility, and you're gonna have to work through issues to be able to do things that benefit the community. And it's a process.
Yeah.
And it's in process right now. I don't know what the result will be. You are right. I was in favor of liaisons. I still am, but I'm okay with giving them freedom. That is what I voted. I voted to have,
Hold on.
allow them the freedom to choose.
But what are they choosing? I'm confused at why are we allowing?
Because there was a time where they didn't have liaisons at all.
But then they did have them.
It's not true.
And then now we're giving them,
Yeah, we are kind of coming up on.
No,
Fair.
I'm gonna go off your people in the community need to learn to work together.
Mhm.
In the minutes that Samantha is referring, they are from
January 7th.
they are from the March 3rd, 2025 minutes where the liaison discussion was brought up by Mr. Meyerholtz. And it says right here, Mayor Easterwood proposed Howard Lashway for an appointment to the Parks and Rec Board. However, Howard stated he would not accept the position until Ms. Klikowski was no longer the liaison. I feel like that doesn't go in line with the working together with somebody for the betterment of the community.
I will agree, we have some massive issues that have been ongoing for years.
Yes.
and so
So, but they use the liaison.
It's a very, very difficult thing to constantly try and work through and work around, but we all do it. And we are still doing it. And I promise you, the liaison conversation will happen.
I know, and like, I even attended the admin process meeting, because I was really excited about the conversation. And I don't enjoy any of this, but when I caught that conversation, it was the most insane thing I had ever heard. Who says that? And again, and I'm to have heard it and to sit here and pretend that sentence isn't blatantly, why is having a liaison in a room, a public meeting, and at this last at this last Parks and Rec meeting, the what are they, chairperson, was that what they're called? No, the head of the board said to Brittany that she couldn't tell God knows who, whatever, and have someone fly up here in a public meeting.
I don't even know what that means.
They were upset at me for texting someone and having someone show up.
Mm. Well, I think there's a lot.
Obviously an issue with
so-
transparency, and
So I will say this because it has been 3 minutes and I know there are a lot of people that want to talk about the things you want to talk about too. Everything that happened at that meeting is also in process. Like I said, council has been informed and there are pieces that are moving and more to be announced in the future as it comes to be.
it just seems that your frustrations are with me, and
No,
I'm
no.
bringing it to the public, and the public
no.
overwhelmingly agrees with me.
My frustrations are not with one person. My frustrations are with the struggle to put the community first, but then have all these like little hiccups. But we're gonna have that no matter what.
Mhm.
That's just a part of life. And it's okay to be frustrated, just like it's okay for you to be passionate.
Mhm.
It's okay for me to feel what I feel. I'm not alone either. And I'm just frustrated because it's tense and it's hard. But I also agree that sometimes you need that tension as a catalyst to make a change. And sometimes those changes really need to happen.
I
So we will see what happens.
Mhm.
With that. Alex?
I think I'll wait.
I was going front and back. So Keith,
No, thank you.
Jeremy?
Can we skip Shirley?
No, I asked.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna use my 3 minutes on the same exact thing, so,
I figured.
because you point out that you want to give them the choice, but they shouldn't have that choice. The people that we vote in to public office are here to represent us, and those boards operate with our funds. There is zero reason why a council member shouldn't attend those board meetings. They have always done this. And I know in those same minutes, it was brought up that this was something that Jeremy invented. And it was just, Jeremy changed it. Before
Those minutes. I'm like, which?
Before there was a Parks and Rec board, and then there was also a matching Parks and Rec committee of 3. And they would take turns going to the Parks Board meetings. And so even before the liaison, there was a liaison. And it's wild to think that, first of all, a committee or a board wouldn't even want one, because it is a very technical thing, to do, there's a lot of red tape, right? With villages. And I actually find it kind of a slap in the face to you, Jessica, that you asked them so nicely, like, hey, can we have Travis come to your meetings and be a liaison? Right? And they said, sure. And then I want to take the time, my 3 minutes here, to read this exchange, which has happened during the meeting. And Doug says, what do we need to do? And Ron says, stop the liaison realistically. I mean, if we cut to the chase, that's what it is. Then Doug says, well, I thought when they presented it, it was about him coming to attend meetings to get used to it. Rick says, yeah, that's right. Doug, is there anything else to discuss? Ron, what I wouldn't want to have happen is they take notes, they're live notes, and they're going to go to everyone on council. Wild.
What a wild sentence.
So then Travis, who is brand new to this process,
Mhm.
have you even done your training, your
Sunshine.
sunshine laws training yet?
Yes, I believe.
Did you get certified?
I believe that's what,
What you did online with Stephanie?
yeah, then yes.
Well, that's wild, Travis, because Travis then speaks up. He says, that's something I was wondering. I'm taking notes, but you guys don't want me to present my notes to council? Doug says, no, because we have to approve them. And then I've been doing this since Christine quit. Within 3 days after approval, it's not really a binding document until it's been approved by the board. And then there's a literal 10-second pause, because I think everyone kind of understood, wow, that sounds bad, And so Travis breaks the silence. Good for you, man. So to be clear, I will not be giving any information to council at all. Doug, not unless we ask you to produce something directly. Take notes though, because we'll put you on the email list once the minutes are approved. My dude, you can take whatever notes that you want. And even their draft minutes are public record. And, you know, if the alternative is that there's a public records request for those draft minutes the next day, like, is that really something that you want to happen?
Like, could you imagine 40 public records requests for the same thing for draft minutes because we don't have a
I
liaison?
want to make the same point that Samantha made. You guys had a council committee meeting,
Mhm.
right? Administrative process. You have minutes that you will render and approve next meeting, correct?
Mhm.
Still read a report.
Mhm.
And that report is for council, but also for the public.
Mhm.
Because when the public doesn't know something, they make it up. They wonder. And it's really rich, you know, coming from the same group that was up here riding our butts about everything, you know, putting our minutes up and being video recorded, and
Having
know,
secret meetings.
there was,
Okay, well,
you know, and so I just, you know, my point is this shouldn't be optional. It's like bare minimum. And I'm just saying it's a net good that the council liaison reports on the meeting, you know.
and I appreciate that input. And I think all of council does and the committee as well. And I think they'll take that into consideration
I
when,
also find nothing wrong with you sharing what you're going to share, you know, with the board to make sure that nothing is inaccurate, you know, because, you know, sometimes there are things that are misconstrued, but
yes, and it has,
that is not enough to.
well, like I said, liaisons are in committee. It is a work in progress, and we have requested that they try and come up with a solution in the meantime that they are comfortable with, that also works for us. But it is still in committee, and I'm glad you shared with us. Logan,
I'm all good.
Luann,
I just have one clarification. Do all the boards have to have like their president, secretary, vice president? Do they have officers for every board?
they're not all the same titles, but yes, there are officers.
Then one
Wait a
clarification.
Are they not all the same titles? The cemetery board and the rec board are. Do they not?
WSI does not. They have,
BSI is outside of the village.
but that's what she's.
Okay.
Are you talking about WSI as well, or just
Yeah,
R two?
Because we have.
Okay.
we
They have five.
members,
They have five
And we are all an officer.
titled. Yeah.
The liaison reported. And it was good that she was there because as volunteers and private citizens, if you've never worked with the government before, you don't know all the requirements that a village has to abide by. So it's good to have the liaison, but a clarification for the minutes versus the reports. The liaison would do the report. The secretary or clerk would do the minutes, which would have to be approved and signed. That helps. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, couple things, to go back to the parking lot at the library. I
Mhm.
think it would do us well to not make it sound as though that it's a library parking lot. I mean,
You're
again,
right.
for the confusion and people out there.
It's a code name.
Well, and because I always get RD
I know library.
messed up.
Behind the library would be fine.
That's what I thought we referred to. it.
No.
Okay.
But I did,
Referred to as library.
thank you for bringing that up, because Ken he kind of hit on it last council meeting when he was like, you got $80,000 for paving a parking lot. Which if you go to those village caucuses and somebody's like, we got 80,000 grant, their eyes get huge. And it's normally for sewage or drainage, some utility system. We did not get $80,000 to pave a parking lot. That grant was written for economic development. The paving of the parking lot was to offer an additional space for events. It was to offer additional parking. So when we close off our roads for our big events and our businesses lose, they would be able to park behind the business. So they're not losing business because of our big events. but also they would then increase the foot traffic. It was for downtown beautification and economic development. That is what we got that money for. So thank you. You're right. We shouldn't call it a library parking lot because it's a lot more than that.
Now, if I can reclaim some of my time in 3 minutes,
Yeah,
I have another point concerning that parking lot.
Mhm.
I happen to remember when I was on council a long time ago, when that property was turned over to the village. I could not clarify whether or not the soil had been tested after that was used as creosote oil and what have you. I'm just suggesting that before you move any dirt, that you try and find out whether that was clarified within the transfer of that property. I don't know. I honestly don't.
And I believe, I'll verify, but I believe Christie did write that testing into the grant to be funded.
Okay.
Because you did bring it up.
Well, I just said
Talking
that
it, yeah.
the plant was there. I didn't know
Yeah.
whether it was. That's why I went back to try and find out.
I'll make a note to clarify with her, but I'm pretty sure she wrote that testing into it.
Because that could get expensive towards the process of the project, that's all. Next item is I just want to clarify my position on the rec board. When I was sworn in last week, the situation that I went to a couple of meetings, I came to a council meeting and made the statement. I was not going to go on that board if somebody else would step up to be on the board. And there had been vacancies for close to 1.5 years. And I tried to clarify it with both the committee and council, and you found no one. I volunteered to do it. I'm a volunteer. Just because I was not elected does not mean that I cannot volunteer in this community. And I will continue to do so. So I just wanted that clarification. Thank you.
Um,
Oh, I just have a request for the council if you entertain maybe more confining a situation where citizens are limited to 3 minutes. Actual. Thank you.
mhm. Okay. Let's see. Help me read this. I know Ron is up there. Ron Dallas.
I think I'm good at this.
Thank you.
Bobby Griffin.
Bobby Griffin. Bobby, can you hear us? Do you have anything for us?
Good for Jessica, though. She did a good job. I think.
No, not at this time.
Thank you, Bobby. And is it
Sue Clanton.
Sue? Hi, Sue. You got anything for us, Sue? Sue Clanton, can you hear us? Do you have anything? Going once. Going twice. Yes, Neighborhood Observer. Do you have anything for us? Neighborhood Observer. Yep. All right, last but not least, Rick Eastroy, can you hear us? Do you have anything for us?
He's voting on his job.
Yeah, I'm like, Rick, Sue, or Neighborhood Observer, going once, going twice. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Hi.
She didn't vote.
Could Ashley second that?